Hello there. I didn't see you there. What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Unfocused with BGisDOPE. I'm BG. I like to think I'm dope. You probably don't. And if you're confused by this green screen and this change in scenery, well, to be completely honest with you, I had to move back over here to my workstation because I wasn't very happy with the quality that my webcam was picking up when I was sitting on the couch or the futon. So I'm in the process of trying to get a new camera. Hopefully we get that soon so we can go ahead and kick it back on the futon. Because, you know, I like to feel like we're just hanging out with the homies, talking sports and whatnot. So at some point we'll get back there. But for right now, you're just joining me at my desktop. For now. And then hopefully soon things will change. Oh yeah, and the green screen. I also stream games on Twitch. It's called Bad Gaming with BGisDOPE. BGisDOPE is everywhere. Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, social media, all that stuff. But for now, let's go ahead, get some scores, break down some stories I thought was interesting, and hopefully you can focus, because I can't. Because it's unfocused, baby. Let's get it. So last night we had the Spurs beating the Magic 129-90. The 76ers beating my Knicks 131-109. The Hornets beating the Cavs 109-99. The Suns beating the Celtics 111-103. Now this is surprising because the Suns have been struggling and so have the Celtics. Everyone thought the Celtics were going to be a shoo-in for the first place, but they're in fifth. And the East is looking way more interesting than we thought it would going into the season. But the Suns beat the Celtics 111-103. The Raptors then beat the Pacers 99-96. Bucks beating the Pelicans 123-115. The Pistons beat the Timberwolves in overtime 129-123. The Nets beat the Bulls 96-93. The Rockets beat the Wizards 136-118, where they set a new three-point record that's been standing for since 2017 when LeBron and the Cavs set it at 25. So they beat it by one. 26 three-pointers. But hey, they got it against the Wizards, shooting 26 three-pointers. That's insane. The Jazz beat the Warriors 108-103. The Blazers beat the Grizzlies 99-92, and the Thunder beat the Kings 132-113. Now in the NHL, the Penguins just barely waddled past the Caps, winning 2-1 on home ice. So now Penguins held that season series at 2-1, and if you remember yesterday's show, that was the game I was most excited for, and it's a good game, but I was let down. And also the Avalanche froze the Canadiens 2-1 also. Well, hey, those are your scores from last night. Let's get into some news stories. In a follow-up from yesterday, Monte Nicholson was placed on the reserve/non-football illness list last night, ending his season after the arrest and charged misdemeanor assault that he faced from early Tuesday morning. The Heat star guard Goran Dragic is going to be out a little bit longer. He first got injured on December 10th, leaving him out for a bit. But just yesterday, he went through a knee surgery. That's going to keep him out all the way until the All-Star break. So it looks like the Heat's going to be without another key component for a pretty long time. Last night, Giannis threw his hat into the whole "we want Anthony Davis" list when he said, hold on, let me. This is a pretty long quote. Let me. Come to the Bucks, man. Yeah, it's stating the obvious, just like LeBron did. But hey, if that's how you make it work, I guess make it work. I don't know. Good luck. The NBA is sending the Pacers and the Sacramento Kings over to India, as the association is going to play its first ever games in the country next year on October 4th and the 5th. Also, these matchups will mark the first ever time that a North American sports league has played over in the country of India. With an interview with Bubba Ray Dudley on the Winsley podcast, Bubba proudly proclaimed that the women's locker room of the WWE is outshining the men. Alright, it's been a bit of a slow news day, so Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks apparently turned down a 7-figure deal from the WWE. So I guess it's looking more and more so that All Elite Wrestling is going to be happening. That's too sweet. And speaking of the Elite, ESPN released an article listing their top wrestlers of 2018. And those who made the cut, some of them won't surprise you, and then some of them might shock you a little bit. Here we go. We have the man, Becky Lynch, Kenny Omega, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, Cody Rhodes, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Daniel Bryan, Braun Strowman, and the Young Bucks. I'm going to be honest, Roman, Daniel, Braun. I want to say those three. Those three surprise me. But what do you guys think? Now with our main story, again, we're going to go on to a more serious note. See, Josh Gordon just may be done with football for good. See, the amazing athlete of immense potential announced today that he'd be stepping away from the game to focus on his mental health. Now, this isn't the first time that Josh has stepped away to focus on mental health, but hopefully this is the time where he is able to make the changes. In a statement that Josh released today on his Twitter, he said, "I take my mental health very seriously at this point to ensure I remain able to perform at the highest level. I have recently felt like I could have a better grasp on things mentally. With that said, I will be stepping away from football for a bit to focus on my mental health. I would like to thank Coach Belichick, Mr. Kraft, as well as the countless others within the Patriots organization for their continued support. I want to thank my fans for their support as well as I continue down the path to getting back to 100%. And I really hope Josh gets back to 100%. See, anyone who's been paying attention to the league since 2012, you've probably heard about Josh Gordon's troubled past. After failing a drug test while playing for Baylor University going into his junior year, Josh really never had a college career as he got kicked off the team and he ended up transferring to the University of Utah, but ended up having to sit out his lone season because he declared too late for the 2011 supplemental NFL draft. During his time in college football, really only playing one season, as a freshman, he took one reception for 7 yards, despite dressing for 9 games. Josh played in 13 games his sophomore season, where he had 42 receptions for 714 yards and 7 touchdowns, and one that went for 94 yards. So even at a young age, Josh's talent was undeniable. Finally picked up by the Cleveland Browns in the second round of the NFL's 2012 supplemental draft, Josh Gordon signed a 4-year, $5.3 million deal. But as soon as he got to the league, his struggles continued. After having an amazing rookie season, he was startled again by another failed drug test, receiving a suspension, but this time he was suspended from the NFL. For his first violation of the NFL drug policy at the time, Josh was only suspended 2 games. And despite only playing in 14 games during the 2013 NFL season, Josh led the league in receiving yards and was voted to his first Pro Bowl and was named first team All-Pro. Unfortunately, once again, Josh's struggles continued as during this offseason, Josh was arrested for driving while impaired in Raleigh, North Carolina, thus leading to another suspension from the league. Initially, Josh was suspended for the entire 2014 season, but thanks to a new drug policy the NFL adapted in 2014, Josh's suspension was reduced from the full 16 games only down to 10. Finally returning to the field after his 10-game suspension, Josh ended up catching 24 passes for 303 yards with no touchdowns. And unfortunately, he violated team rules and had to sit out the final game of the season, only allowing him to play in 5 games that year. Once again, off-season woes occurred, as Gordon was suspended for the entire 2015 season due to violating the substance abuse policy for the third time. Finally being reinstated in July of 2016 after being denied for failing a previous drug attempt, Josh was allowed back in the league. But he was only allowed to partake in training camp, as he was to serve a 4-game suspension that season as well. Unfortunately, Josh never took the field that 2016 season, as he opted to enter an inpatient rehab facility, trying again to get a grasp on his life. After fighting months to get back into the league, on November 1st, 2017, Josh Gordon was finally reinstated, but he was only eligible to return during Week 13. Despite being in phenomenal shape, Gordon only notched 1 touchdown late in that season, but he did rack up 335 yards on 18 receptions. Sheesh. Going into the 2018 season, Josh missed most of training camp, and if you caught Hard Knocks, then you saw that, as he tried to take better care of himself, as it looked like he was trying to take another step towards going to rehab and just getting his life in order. Despite these efforts, and after only playing in the season opener for the Browns, where he had a touchdown, the organization decided it was time to move on from their star receiver, as he violated the team's trust. Josh and the 2019 7th round pick were both traded away over to the New England Patriots in exchange for a 5th round pick. In New England, many had suspected that this would be the fresh start that Josh Gordon needed. The fresh start that we all so desperately hoped Josh Gordon would receive. Because, as we know, the Patriots organization and Coach Bill Belichick they're known for their no-nonsense attitude. During his short stint with the Patriots, Gordon played in 11 games where he notched 40 receptions for 720 yards with 3 touchdowns. And one of those touchdowns just so happened to be Tom Brady's 500th career touchdown pass. But sadly today, the NFL announced that Josh Gordon has once again violated the terms of his conditional reinstatement, returning him to the reserve commissioner's suspended list indefinitely, which may possibly end up having him banned from the league. The saddest part about this, outside of a young man trying to cope with his addictions, from a football aspect, Josh Gordon only played in 52 career games. He averaged 17.4 yards per reception throughout his short career. That's insane. And what's even more insane is when you realize that Josh Gordon, in an interview last year, said that he was either drunk or high or both during every game he played in Cleveland. It's crazy. The numbers he did under the influence are crazy. Just imagine if Josh Gordon was able to play sober, was able to keep his body in tip-top shape. I mean, it probably already is, but being drunk and high during games don't help at all. The potential is mind-blowing. It really is. And with this potential, we're talking easily a Hall of Fame career if he could reach his max potential. He missed out on 60 games. He played in 7 seasons. There were 60 games that he missed. Imagine if he could have played in those games. It's a sad story. And for anyone who watched Hard Knocks, the Cleveland Browns this year on HBO, you got to see a little bit of Josh Gordon. He wasn't there much, but when you did see him, he seems like a genuinely likable guy and someone who really wants to get their life together. Or at least he portrayed it. And that's what just makes this so sad. See, it doesn't seem like Josh Gordon is unwilling to change. It just looks like he's struggling very hard to make this happen for himself. I want to say, this isn't a matter of whether Josh Gordon is a good or bad person or if he should be banned for life from the league. This is the unfortunate life struggle of a 27-year-old man who seemingly is so desperately trying to reclaim his life from addiction and hopefully one day live sober and achieve that better mental health. Personally, I wish Josh Gordon nothing but the best in his road to recovery. And addiction is no thing that one person can easily move past. At the bottom of the screen, I've listed the number for the National Drug Helpline. The National Drug Helpline offers 24/7 drug and alcohol help to those struggling with addiction. And look, I'm by no means sponsored by this organization, but I truly care about every single person I've lost to addiction, every single person I know that's going through addiction, and every single one of you who are watching this show. If you're struggling with addiction and you want help, call that number. And I know this was a little bit deeper and more serious than we normally go, but some doofus who's online talking sports, or you see me on Twitch playing games or making stupid clips, if I can reach one of you guys who are struggling, it's all worth it. Hey, with that said, I hope you have an amazing night, and even better tomorrow, and stay dope.